So yeah, we're going to be working today with a couple of props. So if you haven't used props before, that's absolutely fine. I'll explain kind of how to go about using them. We're just going to start in a reclined position. So just bringing the soles of your feet together, your knees are going to fall out to the side, and then you're just going to come back to lie down on your back. And if you could just have your strap or belt, whatever you've got, just kind of handy near you. And you're just going to lie back and just take a couple of deep breaths. You're welcome to close down your eyes or soften your gaze. And you're just going to bring your right hand just to rest on your tummy, and your left hand is just going to rest just kind of where your heart is. I just want you to feel your breath as it's pushing into both your hands. With every exhale, you're just softening somewhere. So just in the position we're in now, you might want to soften through the hips a little bit. You might want to maybe roll those shoulder blades further down your back. And by softening, we also mean even those tiny little muscles. So, you know, where you hold, clenching your hands, or you furrowing your brow, you may be clenching through the teeth. A lot of people find it beneficial just to do a quick scan of their whole body and see maybe where they're holding tension. I'm just going to invite you to do some ladder breathing. So ladder breathing is just when we're slowly starting to increase the length of our inhales and our exhales. And if at any point if this gets too much for you, you can just go back to your regular breath. So just as a group, even though we're not together, but we're still practicing together, as a group, just taking a big deep inhale, and just exhaling out a sigh. And then inhaling for the count of 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 3, 2, 1. And then inhale 2, 3, 4, exhale 3, 2, 1, and increasing to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. And then gradually increasing that to 6 seconds inhale and 6 seconds exhale. And you can do this in your own time. So if you want to increase to even 7 or 8, you're welcome to do so. We're going to be here for another couple of minutes. So just ensuring that whichever breath pattern or rhythm that you're choosing is what your body is wanting you to do. And really using your hands on your body is kind of a way of adding, some physicalness to your breath. You're feeling that nourishing inhale filling up your belly and filling up your chest, expanding all across your collarbones. And then you're feeling that stale air leave your body. With every inhale, we're bringing something into our body that we need. With every exhale, we're letting go of something that no longer serves us. So whether it's a physical bit of tension or a mental bit of tension. Just letting our breath follow what our mind and our body are telling us. And just taking one more round of inhale and one more round of exhale. And to the end of that exhale, you're just going to bring your hands, just in your own time, just to the very outside edges of your knees, and then slowly, just like a book, closing your knees together. And you're just going to grab onto your strap or your belt, whatever you have handy, And keeping your left foot bent, you're just going to reach that right foot up to the sky and flattening your foot so your toes are coming down towards your face. Just starting to welcome in a little stretch to our hamstring. And then bending that knee in towards your armpit, you're just going to loop that belt over your foot so it's on the arch of your foot, and then reaching back up. And then grabbing both sides of that strap. So don't do it with one hand, do it with both hands. And then just letting the weight of that strap just increase the stretch in that foot. So your toes are flexed, and you're going to think about reaching that heel up towards the ceiling. Now your leg doesn't need to be completely straight. You can have a slight bend here. With every exhale again, just softening slightly. So maybe with that exhale, that knee starts to come in towards your face. Really grounding down through your hips, so making sure your hips aren't rocking up off the mat. And if you are feeling open, you're welcome to stretch that left leg out nice and straight, but also keeping it bent, just as brings your body as much benefit. And keeping that breath with you. Grounding your shoulders into the mat. Again, quickly, are you holding on to any tension, letting go? And if you bent that left leg, just re-straighten it, rebend it, placing your sole of your foot back down onto the mat. And then you're going to take both sides of the belt into your right hand, and just bringing your left arm directly out beside you, so into a T shape. And you're going to let that, with a bit of tension in the belt, let that right foot just drop directly out to the right hand side. Just taking it to your edge. So some people's edge might be flat on the floor, and some people's might only be a couple of inches over to the right. And again, grounding down through both hips. So if you feel like your leg's coming over to the right, so lifting your left hip, just back out of the stretch a little bit. And keep pushing through that right heel. And taking 2 more breaths here. And then your next inhale, just coming through the center, this time swapping it up, so bringing the belt this time into your left hand, getting a good grip there, right arm's going to come out to the side, and your foot's just going to slightly tilt over to the left. Now keep grounding down through that right hip, and you'll just feel a slightly different stretch along the back body of your leg. Your leg only needs to move a couple of centimeters to feel this. And taking 2 more breaths. And then coming through the center, just bending your leg and just letting that strap go. And then this time reaching our left leg up to the ceiling. Again, flexing those toes, they're coming down towards your face. And again, you can have a nice bend in this left leg, as long as you can feel the opening through the back of your leg and a nice stretch along your hamstrings. And you want to make sure that your leg's not turning out to the left hand side, so toes are dead in front. If your leg starts to turn, just bend your knee. And then bringing that knee slightly in towards your armpit and just looping your belt over the arch of your foot, and then reaching up, grabbing the strap with both hands and really sinking those shoulders in towards the mat. This isn't a pulling movement, it's a letting the gravity really hang on to your foot. Keeping both hips square in the mat. If any of you, because your gyms are shut, have started maybe running outside a bit more, you'll be feeling this posture. And again, if you want to straighten out that bottom foot, if you want to straighten out your right leg, as long as you're not lifting through your hips, you're welcome to. Breathing deeply, making sure those toes are pointing straight ahead. And if you've straightened that right leg, just rebending it, Taking the strap into your left hand this time, reaching our right arm out to the side, and then just letting our left foot fall directly over to the left hand side. So keeping that foot in line with your hips. You don't want it to be going down towards your right toes or up towards your shoulders, keeping it in a nice straight line and grinding down through that right hip. Grinding down allows us just to engage our core that a little bit. And keep flexing those left toes. Staying here for 2 more breaths. So making that deep inhale count, sending your breath right where you need it. Your next inhale coming up to center, swapping over, so right hand on the belt, left arm straight out, and again just letting that leg tilt ever so slightly to the right hand side, and you feel a lovely stretch all along the edge of your leg. And grinding down to those hips. And then inhaling, bringing it back through the center, just letting go of that strap. We're just going to place our feet just so that they're mat width, and we're just going to windshield wiper our knees. So let both knees drop to the right, and then swap it up, let both knees drop to the left. And then coming back through, and then this time reaching both feet up to the sky, toes flex, bringing your knees in towards your shoulders and grabbing behind your thighs, keeping your hips on the mat, keeping your tailbone nice and long, broadening through the shoulders. We're coming into a happy baby pose here. So if your hips are already feeling quite good, you can go on ahead and grab the inner or outer soles of your feet, as long as your tailbone is still down towards the mat. And taking one final inhale, and then exhale, just releasing that. I'm going to hug our knees in towards our chest. We're just going to do some, using our knees, just drawing big circles, just so we're massaging into our low back. And then coming through to stillness and just doing a couple of little rocks and rolls, just to bring yourself to a nice seated position. Now you're just going to roll over your ankles and you're going to come to lie directly on your front. So your face is going to be down towards the mat. And you're going to bring both arms out beside you. So almost like you're in a letter T shape. And then bringing your right hand in, just placing your right hand in front of your shoulders. So just like we're going into cobra position here. And pushing into our right hand, we're going to roll over so that we're stacking our hips. So we're getting a nice stretch all along our left shoulder. Now if you just need to push slightly off the ground and your hips aren't stacked, but you're feeling that opening, that's fine. If you want to grab even your block or your cushion, just as a support there, you're welcome to. But if you feel you can go deeper, you can roll all the way so our right hip is on top of our left hip, and just bringing your temple down to the mat, your left temple down to the mat. And if this feels comfortable, another progression is you can pick up that right foot and just tipping your toes behind your left foot. So you're getting a bit of an opening across the front of the body as well. And sending your breath into that left arm. Taking one final breath here. And exhale. If you had the block, just moving it out of the way and just rolling onto your front. Bringing our right arm out straight. Bending our left arm and bringing our left hand just underneath our shoulder. And again, rolling this time onto our right side. So stacking hips, or you can bring your block just in front of your hips and you can lean on your block. You might find that one shoulder is more open than the other one, and that is completely normal. Again, if you want to just increase the stretch in the front of your body, lift that left leg up, bend your knee, and just place that tippy toe behind your right knee. One more breath here. And then exhale, rolling onto your front. Placing your hands just underneath your shoulders. You're just going to push up and we're just going to come into all fours. Now we're going to be in this all four shape for quite a while. So what I'm just going to advise you do is you just bring your cushion and you just place both knees onto your cushion. Just adds that little bit extra padding. On an inhale, we're just going to drop our belly down, open our chest, let our tailbone go up. And exhale, really pushing into that mat, rounding up, puffing up space between our shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the belly down, as if your sit bones are separating away from each other, really opening up, creating space in our low back, and then pushing that mat away. As if there was something on your back, like a balloon, you want to puff that balloon away. And then inhale to come through the center. Now we're going to pick up our left hand and just bring it out in front of us. Your palm is going to face inwards, so towards the right. And then just letting the weight shift into your left knee, we're going to pick our right leg up and bring our right leg behind us. So coming into a bird dog here. And pulling our tummy up, giving a slight puff between our shoulder blades. And we're just going to hold this posture for a couple of breaths. So imagine there's a line all down the middle of your body and you want to hug everything in towards that midline. So pulling both shoulders in towards the middle. Don't let that right leg fly out to the side. Keeping that belly button as if someone's got a hook behind your belly button, pulling it up. One more breath. Then exhale, bringing that hand down, bringing that knee down. And just coming back into a child's pose, just sinking your hips down to your heels. And then inhale, coming back up to our all fours. This time reaching our right hand up, palm is going to spin towards the left and be really energetic through those fingers. So spreading them nice and wide, reaching from your shoulder joint all the way forward. And then this time reaching our left leg behind us, so left foot in line with your hip. And if you feel your hip is opening out towards the left, just think about bringing those 5 toes to point down towards the mat and really stamping that foot. So arm is reaching as far forward as you can and that back leg is reaching as far behind. So as if you're stamping a wall behind you, you want to kick that wall down. Again, hugging everything towards center. And making sure your spine is nice and long here. It's not throwing your head up. Keeping your spine nice and long. Creating space in our side body. Taking one more breath here. Then exhale, bringing your hand down, bringing your knee down, and just sinking into our child's pose. Inhale, coming back up to our all fours. And we're just going to bring our right foot, just lifting it up. This is called fire hydrant pose. Then we're going to straighten our leg and then just placing our right foot onto the ground. So our right leg is nice and straight. Our toes are pointing the same direction as our fingers. We're just going to breathe here. So it's breathing into that nice stretch all on the inner seam of our right leg. And keep active through the arms, so don't let your body sink down. Keep pushing the ground away and letting your pubic bone and your sternum come together so your front body is lighting up. And we're just going to do a couple of toe taps to our right foot. So you're just going to lift that foot up and then bring it back down. Lift it up and bring it back down. It'll only lift a couple of inches. Lift it up and bring it back down, keeping your hips nice and stable. One more time, lift it up and bring it back down. Very good. Now bringing your right knee back to meet your left. If you want to just sink back and just give your wrists a little circle, just because it is quite a lot on the wrists. Just to ease that off. Then coming back onto our all fours. This time lifting our left knee, this time directly out to the left hand side, then straightening that leg and placing that foot onto the mat. Keeping in mind the position that our torso should be. So having strength all through our front body while stretching the inner seam of our left leg. We're just going to do those toes lifts on this side, so nice and controlled. So the only thing that should be lifting is your left foot. So try to keep your hips nice and stable, ground down through your hands. So on an inhale, lift it up, and exhale, bring it down. Inhale, lift up, exhale, bring down, keeping those toes facing front. Inhale, bring up, exhale, down. And one more time, inhale up, exhale, down. Bring that knee back in, and then just sinking back to your child's pose for just another couple of breaths. And then just walking your hands back just to meet your knees. You can stay on the cushion here, because we're going to keep a bit of movement in our, we're going to keep working while on our knees. But if you want to stand up and give your legs a little bit of a shake, you can. So I know some people's knees can lock up a bit. So we're just going to rise up here so that our hips are directly above our knees. So tucking your tailbone down and bringing your hands just to your hips. On an inhale, we're going to reach that right arm up. And then an exhale, bring that right arm back down to our hips. Inhale, lift that left arm up. And then exhale, bring it back down. And we're going to do that movement while lowering down to our heels and coming back up again. So lower down to your heels, left hand on your hip. Inhale, right arm up, lifting up off your heels. And then exhale, floating back down to your heels, swapping it up. Inhale, left arm comes up, squeezing your bum to bring you up, and exhale to come down. Inhale, reaching up, nice through your side body, nice and long, palm spins in. Exhale to come down. Inhale, reaching up, squeezing into your midline still, and exhale to come down. One more on each side. Inhale, reaching to the left, and exhale to come down. I'm just going to sink down. You're just going to turn your palms up towards the sky, and you're just going to close your eyes down. Just taking a couple of breaths here. Maybe you've lost that breath a little bit that you cultivated at the start, so just bringing it back to your breath. And slowly blinking your eyes open, coming back up so our hips are above our knees. You're just going to bring your hands to the small of your back, and your fingers are going to face down towards the back of your knees. Just bringing your hands to the small of your back and allowing your elbows to squeeze together so your collarbones be nice and broad here, and making sure your ribs aren't flaying out. So you want to keep your ribs nice and tucked in. Imagine your hips and your what are these called? What are these called? Imagine your hips and your collarbones, that's it, are wanting to come together, wanting to glue together. So tailbone nice and tucked. So hands just small your back, squeezing your elbows together. On an inhale, just reaching your chest up, and an exhale, just leaning into those hands slightly, just a small back bend. Squeezing your bum, squeezing your elbows together. And then exhale, coming through the center, sinking your bum down, just back onto your heels, and just letting your hands rest in front of you. And taking a couple of breaths here, closing your eyes. We're going to do that one more time. So blinking your eyes open, rising up, hands to the small of your back so that your palms are right at the small of your back, and your fingers are just going at the top of your bum. Shoulders together, broaden through your collarbones. Inhale as if a bit of string was on your sternum, lifting up. Then exhale, just bending into the very top of your back. And keeping your neck nice and neutral here. Double chins are encouraged in this pose, so don't be throwing your head back. Pulling that belly up. Then exhale to slowly come out of that, resting your hands just at the top of your legs. and then rising up. Last time, I promise. You'll need to be on your knees. And we're just gonna pull our hands forward here. So keeping our hips directly above our knees, we're just gonna come into a melting heart pose here. So letting your chest melt down towards the mat, your forehead coming down towards the mat. And breathing into that space at your underarms. Just imagining you have a heavy weight all across your shoulder blades, and that's allowing you to really sink down to the mat. And then inhaling, just walking those hands back, and then just moving that cushion out from underneath your knees. We're just going to pick up and walk just the front of our mat, just coming into a forward fold here. Just going to turn a little bit. Placing our hands on our shins. Inhale to halfway lift, so shoulders in line with your hips, broaden through the collarbones, and exhale to fold in. Now you're going to bring your arms and you're going to hook them behind your thighs. And then with a deep bend in your knees, you're just going to think about your chest coming to rest onto your legs. So we're really folding in on ourselves here. Make sure your knees aren't splaying out, so pulling your knees in. And if you want, you can start to slightly straighten your legs just so you can feel that stretch in your hamstrings. And then exhale to forward fold to get out of that. Inhale to halfway lift, and then exhale to forward fold. And if you could just grab your strap or your belt and just have it in your hand so it's nice and handy. Inhale, halfway lift, stretching out through the collarbones. Exhale to forward fold, and inhale, we're going to rise all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands through the heart center. I'm just going to take a couple of steps back so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Right, so I'm going to do this on my knees, but you guys are already standing, okay? Just so you can see me. So you're going to place the strap in your hand, so looping it around your thumbs, and you're going to reach it overhead. So your elbows can have a slight bend if you need to. Inhale, you're going to reach out through your side body, and exhale, you're going to lean over to the right hand side. Now I am mirroring you. Really grounding down through that left foot. Then inhaling through the center. And exhale, leaning out to the left hand side. This time grounding down to that right foot. Feeling a nice stretch from your baby toe and your right foot all the way up. And then inhaling through the center. Exhale over to the right. Inhale to come up, and exhale over to the left, and inhale to come up, and one more time. So this just increases the stretch all along the back of our shoulders. Inhale back up, and exhale to left. While also allowing us to stretch our side body, and inhale back up. And you can just let that go a little bit, just give all your shoulders a little wiggle, because it is quite a lot of strain on them, quite a lot of tension. Then inhale, just reaching back up, keeping that strap in your hand. You want to have a bit of tension in that. It's almost like a guitar string. Then inhale, you're going to reach your chest up, and exhale, you're going to twist out to the right hand side this time. So pushing both feet strongly into the earth. And just keep taking your gaze wherever is comfortable. So not throwing your head back behind you. Keeping that tailbone tucked, belly button in. Then exhale, coming through the center. And then turning all the way around to the right hand side, left hand side. Keeping that tension. And then inhale through the center, and then exhale just to forward fold. Keeping that strap in your hand. Inhale to halfway lift, and exhale to forward fold. And inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up, keeping your strap in your hand. And exhale, hands through the heart center. Now we're going to take our strap, and you're just going to step your right foot through it. Just the straps at the back of your right knee. You can see me, I got my straps behind my right knee. You're going to push into your left foot so much that you can then lift your right knee. And you're basically going to cradle your right knee with that strap. So keeping your chest nice and open, your arms are going to be squeezing in. Then taking the strap into your right hand, just going to open that leg out to the right hand side. And your right toes can be flexed or they can be pointed, just as long as you're being active through your feet here. And then bringing it back through the center, swapping up, so bringing that strap into your left hand, and you're just going to reach your right hand behind you, just coming into a slight twist. So pulling that tummy up, creating space in your low body so you can open out. And then inhale to come through the center, dropping your right foot onto the ground. You can give your left foot a bit of a shake here. And then we're going to bring the strap this time behind our left knee. And bringing your strap into our left hand. Your other hand can be on your waist, and we're just going to lift that leg up. So again, it's just your strap's just giving your leg that little bit of buoyancy. And then exhale, just opening our left leg out to the side. And again, as long as you're being active through the feet here. Grounding down to that right foot, keeping both hips nice and forward. And then inhaling through the center, swapping it up, strapping your right hand this time, and then reaching that left arm behind you. Pulling everything in towards the midline. Getting your balance. And then exhale, coming through the center, just letting go of that strap and giving both legs a bit of a wiggle. Inhale to reach your arms out, really pushing through your feet, and exhale to forward fold. Inhale to high lift, and then exhale to forward fold. Inhale, we're just going to do one more standing balance here. So inhale to reach up, and then grounding down to that left foot. We're just going to pick that right foot up, and we're just going to cross our right foot over our leg. Now, because this is quite a gentle class, if you have anything you want to grab hold of, you're welcome to, or you can challenge your balance here. So bringing hands through the heart center, and then just starting to bend that left leg. So we're letting our hips sink back, and you should feel a nice stretch in your right hip here. So you are welcome just to get your balance, just so you can get that nice stretch in that right hip, just to hold on to something. I'm currently holding on to a television, which probably isn't a good idea. And squeezing those hips in, and then inhale, coming up to rise, just giving that leg a shake. And then swapping it up to do standing pigeon on the other side. So crossing our right ankle just above, our left ankle just above our right knee. So we're seeing the way my leg's like a number 4, so coming into like a figure 4 shape. Then still pushing into that right foot. We're just going to send our hips back slightly, and you'll feel an opening in that left hip. Focusing on bringing that left knee, pushing that down towards the ground so that left hip really opens up. Then exhale, coming out of that and just coming down to your forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Then exhale, just stepping back into your all fours and then sinking your hips back. We're just going to bring both legs out in front of us. And then you're going to bring your right foot just to the inner seam of your left foot. Now, if you want to here, you can just prop up on a cushion or on your block, just to kind of lift you that little bit higher. And what you find as well, which really helps, is if you just kind of, it sounds not very nice, if you kind of move your fleshy bit of your bum out of the way, just so you can really feel your sit bones on the mat. Inhale here. And you can stay here, or keeping your body nice and long, so nice broaden through the chest, you can start to walk your hands so you're folding over that left leg. And just going to wherever is comfortable. You want to keep your spine nice and long, and keep broadening through your chest in this pose. You don't want your spine to be all curved. You want to keep it nice and open, nice and active. And And then you're going to walk your hands back up, and then just swapping up. So right leg out in front, left leg, foot's going to come to the inner seam. And again, if you need to kind of move the fleshy bits away so you can really sit high in your sit bones, you can do that. So lifting from your hips, then lifting from your ribs, lifting from your shoulders, reaching up to a lovely long body, and then exhale, keeping that lovely length in your spine, just coming forward to wherever's comfortable, and then placing your hands on the mat. And thinking about sending your right toes directly up towards the ceiling or towards your face. If you need to think about that opening in your chest, just think about sending your shoulder blades together to touch, so your elbows are coming really close into your body. And then inhale to walk your hands up. This time, bringing your legs into a nice wide-legged position. And then if you could grab your block, just have that handy, or your book, or whatever is closest, and also grab your cushion. So bringing your block into whichever height you think you need so that you can rest your forearms down. So whether that's the highest setting or the lowest setting, or if you can come all the way down to the ground. So just a comfortable position. And then just to make things extra cozy, we're just going to bring that cushion on top. Now when we're in our seated straddle, we want to again make sure our sit bones are really grinding down, and you want to think about your feet turning out the way. So don't let those knees knock in. You want to think about your knees. There are kind of torches coming out of the knees. The torches will be shining behind you, not shining in front. So this time it's going to be more restorative. So this time we want to have a nice bend through that back. So just like we were doing our cat cows and our all fours, we're going to, as if you're pushing the ground away, you're going to take a big bend in our back, and then we're going to sink ourselves down. So either bringing your forearms down to your block and your cushion, or if you want to make it even nicer, just bringing things slightly up and just bringing to rest your forehead on it. And creating a nice puff up space between your back. And again, keep sending that breath to wherever your body is feeling it, wherever your body is telling you. Because we're puffing up between our shoulder blades, you should feel a nice stretch all along our back, and then all along the inner seam of our legs. And you're welcome to close down your eyes here or soften your gaze. Just staying here for 2 more breaths. And after those 2 breaths, for your next inhale, just slowly uncurling from that. And then whenever you get to the top, just doing a big shoulder roll, bring your shoulders all the way up to your ears, and then bringing them down your back. And then just placing whichever props you have just over the side. And then bringing our feet onto the mat, going into a ball, and then just rolling all the way back onto our mat. And just bringing our knees in towards our chest, and just doing those little circles we did at the start of class. So we've just stretched out our back there, so we're just going to massage out our lower back. And then just bringing our legs straight onto the mat. If any of you are in my hidden class, we're going to do the pose which I call banana. It does have a Sanskrit name, but for this purpose we're just going to call it banana. So you're just going to walk your left foot just so it's off your mat, and then picking up your right foot, you're going to cross your feet at the ankle. So your right foot is going to be on the outside edge of your left foot. So right foot to pinky side edge of your left foot. Then you're going to reach your hands overhead, and then again reach them over to the right. Let your left hand, if you can, grab your right wrist. And before you settle, I want you to inhale to really reach out of that shoulder, and then on your exhale, placing your right arm onto the mat. So you're opening all the way along your right side body. And if you feel that your right hip is lifting off the mat, just back out slightly from that lean over to the left. And really push that right hip into the mat. You'll feel an even more of an opening all along that side of your body. I just want you to maybe let your thoughts that have been linked with your breath, just let them go. We're starting to slow the body down, so instead of forcefully taking our breaths to long, deep inhales and long exhales, just letting your breath do whatever it wants. This means if you feel like you want to maybe take a big sigh as an exhale, you're welcome to. Then taking one more inhale here, and then exhale, just letting go of that right wrist, uncrossing your legs and coming through the center. And then just walking our feet, well not walking, but moving our feet over to the right hand side. So move your right foot first. So it should just be just in your eye line, and then placing that left ankle over your right foot. So your pinky toes are basically touching. And then again, right hand reaches to the right, and it grabs your left wrist. And then just like the other side, inhale to reach out of that side body, and exhale to settle down into the mat. Making sure your shoulders are away from your ears here. So if you feel like your biceps are right beside your ears, letting those shoulder blades glide down your back. Again, grounding that left hip into the mat now, so you're really stretching the front of our hip. And I want you to start, just because we are going into Shavasana very soon, letting any thoughts that are coming into your mind, so anything that's maybe linked to work or the current thing that we're going through, I want you to just, if any of them drift in, with every exhale, push that thought out. Some people find it helpful to maybe just think about their breathing, so just think about breathing in and out, and some people find it helpful to have a visual focus, so maybe if a thought comes into your head, just imagine a flame and just watching that flame. Just to allow yourself just to quieten your mind. Your next inhale, just uncrossing your ankles, holding onto your wrist. And then either keeping your arms above your head if this is comfortable, or bringing them alongside your body, letting your hands spin up towards the ceiling, and then letting your feet just fall out to either side. And we're all going to take a deep breath in together, and we're all going to exhale out a sigh, and with that sigh we're going to sink into our mat. Just for the next couple of moments, finding your focus, letting those thoughts not pollute your mind for these next couple of moments. Getting rid of them with every exhale, and just finding a couple of moments of stillness.